Good evening, and welcome to a deeper dive into the life of an American legend. We know Paul Revere as the tireless messenger of the Revolution, the Midnight Rider whose warning galvanized a nation, the remarkable life of a man we all know, yet perhaps don't fully understand. Tonight, we peel back the layers to reveal the fraternal bonds, the secret meetings, and the enduring philosophy that truly forged the revolutionary spirit in Paul Revere, his profound connection to Freemasonry. To understand Paul Revere the Mason, we must first understand colonial Boston. It was a city of ideas, commerce, and growing dissent. Revere, a successful silversmith, was a respected artisan, a man of industry and community. In 1760, at the age of 25, he was initiated into St. Andrew's Lodge. They met at the Green Dragon Tavern, located 0.4 miles from the Old North Church, which was not far from the busy harbor. This wasn't a social club. It was a sanctuary of principle. Freemasonry, built on the allegorical working tools of the stone mason, taught lessons of moral virtue, integrity, and self-governance, ideals perfectly aligned with the burgeoning spirit of liberty. Crucially, St. Andrew's Lodge, which met in the legendary Green Dragon Tavern, was no ordinary fraternity. It was a cradle of the Revolution. Its membership included some of the most ardently anti-Crown individuals, men like Joseph Warren, the future hero of Bunker Hill, and John Hancock. This shared brotherhood provided the ideal cover for revolutionary plotting. Under the guise of a fraternal meeting, they could discuss sedition, share intelligence, and forge alliances with little fear of suspicion from the loyalist authorities. Revere quickly rose through the Masonic ranks. His natural leadership and dedication to the craft were undeniable. In 1770, a critical year marked by the escalating tensions of the Boston Massacre, Revere was elected Master of St. Andrew's Lodge. His role as Master gave him unparalleled access and influence. The Masonic network was vast, extending throughout the colonies, connecting Boston's radicals with patriots in New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. This network became the literal intelligence gathering and communication system of the Sons of Liberty. Revere, the Grand Master of Messengers, could rely on the trust and commitment of his Masonic brethren to carry messages, conceal weapons, and secure passage. The very planning of his most famous act, the Midnight Ride, is inextricably linked to the Lodge. On the night of April 18, 1775, when Revere set out to warn Lexington and Concord, his mission was not random. He was directed by Dr. Joseph Warren, then the Grand Master Pro Tem of the Massachusetts Provincial Grand Lodge. It was a mission given by one high-ranking Mason to another, highlighting how the infrastructure of the fraternity was repurposed for the Revolution. Revere's artistic genius was also profoundly influenced by his Masonic identity. As a master silversmith and engraver, he applied his skill to the craft, creating some of the most important surviving examples of early American Masonic artistry. These engravings were not just decoration, they were vital documents, establishing the legitimacy of the lodges and the standing of their members. By creating them, Revere was solidifying the foundation of the Masonic system in the emerging nation. He was embedding the symbols of liberty and order into the very fabric of the new American culture. The Masonic tradition of fraternity and mutual aid also ensured Revere's own economic and social success in the post-war economy. The bonds of the Lodge were also the bonds of business, ensuring patronage and cooperation among members who valued his integrity. After the smoke cleared and American independence was secured, Paul Revere's commitment to Freemasonry only deepened. The war had scattered many lodges, and the task of rebuilding the fraternity fell to its most respected leaders. In 1794, Paul Revere achieved the highest honor in Massachusetts Freemasonry. He was elected Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Massachusetts. For 3 years, he oversaw the fraternity's growth, focusing on charitable works, community building, and strengthening the organization's moral purpose in the young republic. Traveling across the eastern states, signing Masonic charters, such as the one located in Charlestown, New Hampshire. The original meeting place was at the Abel Walker Tavern, back in 1781. Back then, the area was known as Charlestown No. 4. The tavern, long gone, now having burned down. The Masons, now called Faithful Lodge No. 12, meet in a building located on Main Street and has a copy of that original charter hanging on the wall. Revere's legacy as a Mason is perhaps his most lasting contribution to the principles of American governance. The ideals he lived by, liberty, equality, and the inherent dignity of the individual, were all nurtured within the lodge. Freemasonry provided the framework for trust and cooperation necessary for revolution and, crucially, for the construction of a lasting democratic society. Paul Revere passed away in 1818, but his memory and his work within the craft endure. The next time you see his portrait, remember not just the flash of the lantern and the thunder of the hooves, but the quiet, dignified work of the man who, as a Mason, helped to lay the symbolic and moral cornerstone of the United States of America.